Hey guys, Boston Bruce back with a wrap up. I'm going to place my units in a little non-com and do a little recap video. I believe that's the final score. I did roll the sixth end of game. B-29, I already placed it on the board in New York. I took the damage markers off the port. These are going to go in Portugal, Spain. So let's bring all these units over there. So we got a couple rockets, we got a couple jets, a couple airborne. On non-com, we would have brought 3 attack transports, picking up an airborne. Actually, we're not even going to bring the airborne. We're going to take 2 mountain. Let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, we'll take the airborne. So we would take the 2 mountain, the 2 airborne, 2 mountain, 1 airborne, 1 heavy armor, 2 artillery. And these 3 transports will go in Port in Istanbul. They got no bombers, so that would have went there. I have improved logistics, so I think I could rail. I think this rail is 2, and I don't have to stop. So we would rail these 2 up over to here into Picardy. So we'd have 3 rockets in Picardy. Also coming up, 2 infantry would rail. That's a Europe rail. These 2 medium armor would rail to all the way to Bulgaria. And they'll stop there. That's our 4 rail movements in Europe. These 2 heavy armor would come up 1, 2, enjoy the big force here in Alsace-Lorraine. 2 rockets in Madrid, 2 airborne in Portugal, 2 jets in Portugal. We're going to finish the airfield in a Kukakis. We're going to do a mum in a Kukakis. We're going to do a mum in Midway. This Marine will go on this attack transport, which I'm using a sub. I ran out. Come over to Hawaii, drop him off. Actually, 1, 2, 3. He'll go over Midway instead. Go in port. There's a sub there, so just in case. I don't want to rack my brain thinking of rules right now. What else we got? We got a militia in a factory. That would go down in over here. This airborne would move down here. This attack transport would take the artillery. Come down 1, 2. Drop the artillery off in, let's see, 1, 2. In New South Wales. These 4 battleships. Up, I got a land aircraft over here. Had movement of 3. 1, 2, 3. So the carrier will come down here, catch the tactical and the jet fighter. We got 2 destroyers here. 1 will come over. 1, 2, join this fleet. These battleships will come down 1, 2 over to here. And this destroyer will come down 1, 2 over to here. Let's see, these guys will fly over to, what is this? Queensland. And that would be it. They got a destroyer here. Where we want to send him? We'll send him over here also. And has this guy moved? I don't think so. 1, 2. He'll come down here. So that would have been done over there. We placing 2 units in a Tukakis, a medium bomber, and a fighter. And we had 2 more militia. Well, 1 more. Don't much matter. I know 1 was going in Austria. And I think that's it. We would have had $106 next turn. Crazy money. We would have started doing the Navy again. I believe there was 1 more militia, and I think I wanted to place them in Dutch New Guinea, I believe it was. So, anyway, as far as the recap, I'll tell you, this game started out, we almost, if it wasn't for Chris, the game would have ended. He decided not to surrender. It was very early. Paris fell on turn 5. What else happened? Paris fell on turn 5, and they wound up attacking the Russians fairly early, if I remember right. But there was a bombing raid into England, and we chose to scramble. The RAF got decimated, and it looked awful for us, I'll tell you, early in the game. But somehow Chris said, nope, let's not surrender, because we had surrendered the game before we got our ass kicked. So decided to keep playing, and it was the right decision. We wound up coming back. The Russians had their chance to win it twice, I think. And I rolled a high enough number where the game didn't end. But anyway, that's how the game started on that side over here. And then in Japan, Japanese were able to hit the Dao Dao, which made a real problem, especially for the CCP. I mean, they never got going. I mean, even now they got 2 militia and a couple territories in Mongolia, and only because the ones in Mongolia I agreed to attack earlier in the game and gave them some recruitment roles, and we were cooperating there for a while till late game. But he never really had a chance to do much of anything. Japan had good tech success early, and were able to jump way ahead on the capital ships, and never even came close to catching them. I think there was 1 turn where about even, maybe, I don't know, might have been 9, 10, I'm not even sure now. But, yeah. And Sydney fell kind of early in the game also, and, I mean, kind of in position now, we'd take it back, I mean, but it's been a rough go for the Pacific side for the Allies. I mean, we got a big force in Hunan, but never been able to crack Malaya. Nanking's pretty safe too. Once he moved added the heavy fleet carriers with the fighters to scramble, makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. KMT came close to evolving a couple times, but they never actually got a chance to attack, to have a chance. And there was never an opportunity for the Americans to give them something. There would be eventually, though. I mean, I think, because the way the game is playing out. But, I mean, a couple things that we haven't seen before in the games I've played is Berlin falling. I mean, we came close. I think it was me, Chris, and Randall playing. Sergeant Shellhole, and Berlin came close. But this time it actually fell, and it fell kind of easy. But Paris has a lot in there. And I mean, I could start whittling it away if I wanted, but once the Russians got on the border here, it was like, you got to watch out. So, I mean, if they attacked them, I'm thinking Germans would probably attack them too. So, anyway, but it's been kind of a good defense set up here by Global War Enthusiasts with the fighters and the AAA and the land units, so I wasn't able to come in and bomb Berlin. I really wanted to bomb Berlin to oblivion and take away that victory point, but it never materialized. But we did, and I was going to do the same thing to Rome, but then it became to the point where, well, we can't take Paris, let's take Rome. And Rome fell. I mean, I don't know if it's me, but I seem to have pretty bad luck rolling. Anyway, I'm just a whiner, I guess. But yeah, so that was part of the allied problem me and Chris had is we kind of wibble wobbled a little bit during the game on where to go and what to do. I mean, early on we were kind of focusing on getting Malaya back, and then it was just too much at that time, and Germany and Russia started fighting heavy, so we switched focus to come into this area and build up to take Paris because it looked like the easier target than Malaya, and it turned out it wasn't. So, and actually, I don't know. I don't think I've seen the Allies win where they can't take Paris, they can't take Malaya, and they lost Sydney, and they still wound up winning, which is pretty amazing. But I think a big part of that and what helped us was the Russians. I mean, we worked pretty good with the Russians most of the game early on, but even now they have a huge force there. But the problem is now they have nothing in the backside, and we're pretty secure up here. We're definitely secure in Istanbul. And I mean, his big force is here. And I actually, before I seen that I could take central Romania, because my first inclination was I'm going to kind of try a suicide attack up into here and Helsinki again and carpet bomb and I could have 2 airborne reach, I think it was. And I mean, that would have been awful. I had no fighters or nothing. And then I looked around and I said, well, wait a minute. I got enough bombers. Maybe I can cut all of Germany and Poland and Romania out of supply because I still had this bomb rail damaged. And I wasn't even thinking of taking Romania, but what I was going to do was bomb these 2 ports and then bomb the rail over here and the rail here. And then what was the other one? The port in Leningrad. Yeah, and that would have basically cut all of Germany and Poland and Romania out of supply for one whole turn. I mean, yeah, you could fix the railroads, but, he wouldn't have been able to build anything on this side of the map. And then I started looking around, and I see these 6 AAA, and it's like terrifying, but, he actually hit pretty good. You got 5 hits with his AAA, but, I mean, that's average. 18 times 3 is what? 54 divided by 12. It's not even 5 hits, so he's actually one above average. So when I seen that and I seen how many aircraft I could bring, and, until the Great Britain took Istanbul, I wouldn't have been able to pass through there to do that move. So that worked out great. And, I had plenty of aircraft. What I wound up taking for casualties, he hit 5. I wound up taking 1 regular strategic bomber, 2 medium bombers, and 2 heavy strategic bombers. Of the 5 aircraft I lost, I wound up keeping 2 tactical 6 jets and the 4 B-29s and 1 medium bomber. So, I mean, worked out well. I mean, having time to look at the board sometimes makes a difference because I didn't even see that attack at first. I wasn't even thinking of it, actually. It was like, what the hell are the Americans going to do? They're kind of stuck. There's nothing really to attack, I'm saying. I got all this I had these units I non-commed over. It's like in these armor laying around. It's like, where can I go? What can I do? And I actually think I forgot to attack because I was going to come up here and I was going to possibly take, what is this, Kola with 2 transports there. But, and an artillery from Picardy. I would have came up 1, 2, 3. Actually, where was it? No, I think I was going to go into Ireland. I had Norway. I had thoughts of that, but I didn't want to spend the $10. And without radar, I would have been able to hit these airfields eventually. I was out of range, but now with 3 of them here, and he can't shoot them down, so I would have been able to eventually bomb these cities without having to worry about everything scrambling into one zone. So, but it was a well-played game by everybody. Chris had to bow out late due to some work issues, and I had to take over. But it was fun. We had a good time. I'll be going on vacation I know Hamlin's on vacation soon. Global War Enthusiast is on vacation. He's also meeting me down in Florida. Hopefully we're going to play. Someone had to back out, but hey, that's the way it goes. So we'll see. My sons might play. We'll see what happens. But anyway, yeah, it was a great game. I like some of the rule changes. I know they're leaning towards supply, and there's no incentive for Russia to go into Berlin if Germany surrenders, because otherwise, I mean, it helps them on triumph because the British lose all this territory, but I mean, the Frenchies will be making good money, and they'll have a major factory. They'll be building right on the front. I mean, it just doesn't, it's tough for Germany. And actually, I think global war, the Russians got a little too defensive late in the game here. I might have attacked more and put some pressure on the Americans over here and the British. I'm glad he didn't, actually, So that I was a little worried about. I mean, I've seen really good roll-ins where people can come in and wipe stuff out, like this whole, 15, 20 units there. Supposed to get whatever, 6, 7 hits and wind up getting 2. Supposed to get 4 hits and get 8. I prefer being the attacker. I think the attacker has the advantage, unless it's me attacking. Everybody else seems to have the advantage attacking. The Frenchies were in decent shape. They actually had a lot of units. Finally, we were a little slow getting the Frenchies going. I mean, they could have been backing stuff up all over the place. But I mean, right now, they have what? 1, 2. They have 3 aircraft. They got a AAA, a Mountain. They were in good shape. Couple moves. I made a bad move here one turn. I get Lend-Lease and I build a transport here, yet I forget to get the airborne Lend-Lease over here. So it's like, well, wait a minute, that's not gonna. I got a whole turn. I got to go over and get it. So, little mistakes here and there, but it wound up being a fun game. It's actually a lot more fun at the end of the game for the Allies. When they can go on the aggressive part and make moves and stuff. And I mean, it would have got to the point where I would have now probably start building a lot of Navy, where I could draw. Because I'm bringing this over here, and I mean, basically, that's going to get wiped out probably, most likely. He'll come in with some stuff in here, and I mean, it kind of puts him out of position, but I'm not in position to go towards him. But I mean, at this point, it's a monetary game, and I mean, when you're making income, I'm at 88, the British are at 70. I mean, Japan's at 19 right now. Granted, they could go down and take some stuff and get back up in the high 20s, I'm sure. But then, they're spread out. I'll be building stuff. I got aircraft. Eventually, this would fall. If it didn't fall next turn, it would have fell the turn after. I actually made a mistake on the British turn because I really should have just pulled all this aircraft out of here and brought it down to Australia and, made an attack and then let the Americans clean it up right after. But hey, it's kind of when the end of the game is coming, you kind of play a little different. But as far as everything, it was a fun game. You get little rule changes here and there. It seems every time, but a lot of them work out well. It's the first time we've had Russians come close to winning that close. I mean, Pete would have won last turn. In the turn before, I believe, if I rolled low enough. Yeah. And we never got into sudden death. If I would have rolled a high number, I did roll a low number. Yeah, so the game ended with the 6. But if it was tied, it would have went to sudden death. And the Russians, if they'd just hit tech, the game would have ended right there. They'd have went up to 7. And that would have, they would have went to 8. They would have won 8-7. And that would have been the end of the game. But I guess it was Lucky Bruce this game. But anyway, it's been a great time. I look forward to playing another one soon. And hope everybody's enjoying all the snow up here in the Northeast. Boston Bruce, signing out.